Were you always short?
Was I always short? Dude, I am the tallest person in my family. So at home, I was a giant. And then in the world, a Keebler. So the disparity, it hurt. I'm not going to lie to you. But we're Jews. You know, we're not, you know, it's not a dunking people.
You went to
we have goiters.
You went to a non-Jewish university, William and Mary.
William and Mary. I didn't realize. I thought the last name was Steinberg. Turned out not to be the case. Turned out it was a whole other situation. Yes. I went there to explore the rich Judaica that is southeastern Virginia. The tapestry, if you will, is a remarkable panoply of Levites, Kohans. Sorry.
So you described yourself, you gave a commencement speech there this year, and yes. You described yourself in college as repugnant. Is that how you got into comedy?
By being repugnant? No. You know, comedy it's about learning how to, like I said, it is, in some respects, I think it's like music, in that it's a rhythm. And it's a rhythm that you feel inherently. But like music, if you don't know how to control it, it will be used, it can be powerful to people to be able to verbally abuse them. And when you're younger and you don't realize that it's powerful or that you're using it in the wrong way, it can get your ass kicked because it's obnoxious. And learning to control that and learning how to temper it and learning to use it to, as they say, afflict the powerful rather than someone with a club foot is an important lesson and one that needed to be learned. And, you know, as you get older, you realize how to fine-tune the pathology that is your brain. And that's sort of how I feel about it.
When you fine-tune the show, does everything run through you? Are you the quality control officer? He's laughing. Go ahead.
Quality control officer. They're called editors. David? I function, oddly enough, very similarly to what a managing editor would at an actual television news place. We have an editorial meeting in the mornings where we go over. The difference between our show and an actual news show is we're not reporting anything. We're merely, you know, we're just part of the digestive process. So we are writing jokes about it. But we discuss it in the same way. We just don't have anybody ever leave the building. Saves a tremendous amount of money. You would not believe. One picture of Baghdad, and you have a correspondent in the Middle East. It's called a green screen, and you really should look into it. But, you know, our day functions usually a day ahead. Usually, when we finish a show, the meeting that night after the show is about setting the stage for the next day's editorial. And then our day is basically focused on getting as much material as we can. And the writers are phenomenally prolific. And what we do is we take what they give us and shape it throughout the day. We're writing literally up until tape time. And the most important editorial meeting is post-rehearsal. That's where I'm putting everything more into my rhythm, and that's where we're really doing the most, it's the finest work, but it's also the most crucial in terms of rejiggering structure of jokes, placement of stories. You know, usually it's addition by subtraction more than anything else. We like to come down to the show heavy rather than light. And so the day functions in a very regimented manner, and I think people who watched it would be unbelievably bored by the process.
You said,
as they are by me talking about it.
You said publicly before that if you were Bush or Carey, you would not appear on the Jon Stewart Show.
If I were Bush or Carey, I would not appear on the Daily Show. That is correct.
Because?
If I were Bush or Carey, I would want to conduct myself with an air of presidential aura. And our show is like stepping in poop on your way to the library. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we would enhance your reputation. But they are salesmen. They are knocking on doors looking for votes. And we have been deemed as having a condensed, distilled, aromatic bucket of voters that is very hard to reach, that only apparently beer companies know how to get at. So if they can tap into that unbelievably pristine and delicious vein of voters and pull some of them, they win the election. So they view us in a purely functional manner. And
Kerry appeared this summer. Bush never has. If Bush appeared, what would you like to ask him?
What am I missing? Why is it that when I look at you, I'm scared? But yet, clearly, there are people who love you. Clearly, you know, what is it that I'm not getting? Because I'm clearly not getting it. You know, I don't get the, you know, when he stands up and goes, "Tell Tony Blair about the coalition." I sit at home and go, holy shit. The president just went ape shit. You know, so I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding the Bush doctrine. I don't understand the standard of preemption. Now, I'm missing something because he's not getting crushed in the polls. But I don't understand how, you know, Saddam Hussein was a unique threat. How? Weapons of mass destruction. So does Iran. Ties to Al-Qaeda. So does Iran. Fuck. You know, I'm not getting it. And what I'm understanding, you're coming to beat us. Are you coming to beat us up? Is our time up? Am I in trouble? He's actually here for right after the show. We're all going to have a dance-off.
People say Bush is the kind of guy they like to have a beer with. You don't feel that way?
You know, I don't like to drink with people who are alcoholics. I always find that to be tacky. You know, I think for people to say I'd like to have a beer with the guy who hasn't had a beer in 13 years, to do what? Just sit like this? So delicious. Oh, God, it makes me lose control. Let's go. You know, I don't want to have a beer with either president. I don't want to have a beer with the president. I want to feel like the president, you know, this whole idea that the president has to be a common man, you know, and that is every election people run to the bottom. I'm just like you. I'm a common man. Really? You watch 10 hours of television a day? You thought the Macarena was fun? You're like me? Don't be like me. I have an idea. Be better than me. Be way better than me. Be so much better than me that you keep me safe and get me health insurance. I don't understand why they want to be us. We're fucking idiots. Cheers.